Hey everyone, this is Diesel from Imagineyourgoddess, and during the team tournament, I'm giving you a brief glimpse of my Ethics Buster deck. Now, Ethics Buster is all about standing up the rear guard, 18K columns, all those things that you guys know I love and enjoy. So let's go ahead and get started. First start is White Tiger. Everyone asks me why I don't run Riot Horn. The short answer is because I do what I want. Long answer is that Riot Horn is very good and does a lot of work if you need him in the back. But if you're running 15 grade 1s like I am, you're probably going to hit a booster okay, so you don't need to keep Riot Horn back there. So just run White Tiger and get that extra attack in. More pressure is harder on opponents. Always, always, always. Let's go into triggers. I am running 7 critical triggers. 4 of them are Red Lightning, the guy who untaps damage, or unflips damage rather. Unflipping damage is a very important part of setting up this deck because you want to be able to use Illuminati if your end turn scenario doesn't work out the way you want it to work. So get that unflip damage in, and I'm also running less clay dolls than you would expect, which I'll talk about in a minute. Then I'm running 5 draw. I would be running more 3 minutes and trying to trip up my opponent on what I'm running. I really like 3 minutes, I just don't have any extra copies. Draw triggers are self-explanatory. This deck needs a little bit of hand advantage. Run 5 draw. It's worth the risk. 8-4 was working okay. 7-5 works better. Just letting you know. And of course, 4 heal triggers. One day I'm going to switch to Wall Boy. I don't know when. Let's go into grade 1s. Talk about 4 perfect shields. 4 perfect shields? Do I need to talk to you about it? 4 perfect shields. Okay. Next up, I've got 4 copies of Beast Deity Blank Marsh. He has White Tiger's effect of being put into the soul after you hit a Vanguard when he boosts to stand a Beast Deity. There are a lot of Beast Deities in this deck, and there will be even more later when the other Beast Deities come out. So you want to run as many of Blank Marsh as you can. I run 4. Okay? Then we've got 4 copies of Hilarity Destroyer. Hilarity Destroyer lets you drop and draw if he hits a Vanguard and you have a Beast Deity Vanguard. So it's really good first turn if you're grade stuck and you're trying to put some pressure on because your opponent's like, oh, whatever, and then you go drop and draw. I got a 2, I'm not screwed. That's pretty nice. Okay? Then I also run 3 copies of Clay Doll Mechanic, one of the alt arts and 2 of the regulars. Clay Doll Mechanic is really, really nice for unflipping damage, but I only run 3 because I want as many Beast Deity boosters as I can for that end turn scenario, which I'll talk about in length later. It's really worth running 3. I don't know if I would go down to 2, it's dangerous, and I don't know if I push it back up to 4 until I have some better Beast Deities to play in its place. So 3 for now. Let's go into grade 2s. We got 2 copies of King of Sword. Most people ask me why I don't run Black Tortoise. Black Tortoise is bad. I'm not running a Zer Dragon, so there's no reason to run Black Tortoise for his effect. He's an 8K otherwise. You want to ride into something strong. So until they give you a 10K vanilla Beast Deity, this is what you're running. Enjoy it. Okay? Then 4 copies of Golden Anglet. Okay? I like Golden Anglet. It does its work. It swings for 16 when it needs to, and then it can stand and swing for more. And if you're really lucky, you can stand it again and again, and it swings for more and more. It's alright. 4 copies of Hatred Chaos. Okay? Hatred Chaos is the 12K attacker for Beast Deities. Does a lot of work. You want to run them. All 12K attackers do work.
Just run them.
Just run them.
There's also Golden Anglet's not retarded brother.
Indeed. That's GoHealth for you, giving you a little background for anything that you might need. Okay, let's talk about grade 3s. 4 copies of Ethics Buster and 4 copies of Illuminal. Okay, we've talked about Illuminal in the past, and I'll talk about why we're running them here. But Ethics Buster, the break ride, when you break ride over him, 10,000 to the Vanguard is great. And when he attacks a Vanguard, stand all of your Nova Grappler, your rear guards in the front row. He gives you 5 attacks just by swinging. That's pretty good. You set up 18K rows, you start swinging with your sides, and then you stand them. Okay? He also gets +2 when he's boosted, which makes him, 13k. Like most things, it's to set up against cross rides, which is nice. Okay? Illuminal Dragon in this build does a lot of work, because that end turn situation I'm talking about is as such. You've got an Ethics Buster on your band. You got 2 11k, hopefully you got 2 11k, or more front row rear guards. And you've got rear guards in the back, boosters, that are also Beast Deity. So this is the scenario. You break ride. You swing for 18, you swing for 18, you swing with 21 plus boost, whatever that is. These two stand from Ethics Buster's effect, and then you counterblast 3 and stand these two with Illuminal's effect. You now have 2 18k columns to swing with, plus triggers. That does work every single game. Okay? It is totally worth running the Illuminal and running the risk of not being able to get the cross ride. Some people like to run one Azure Dragon in here. I do not, because I don't like to have inconsistency in my deck. Every game that I've played so far that I haven't gotten completely ride screwed on, I will 9 times out of 10 ride Ethics Buster first, and then still hit an Illuminal in order to do my work. It is totally worth running. Okay, another quick note on this deck is that I've played this deck a lot over the last couple weeks, and it seems the biggest thing I lose to right now is just getting ride screwed. I don't hit a 3, I don't hit a 1, or something like that. But this deck has overcome being ride screwed for a turn, or 2 turns. Because once you get into that notion where you can protect yourself for just long enough to get off this effect can win games by itself. It requires your opponent to have at least 40k shield right out of the gate to avoid taking damage from your rear columns, not including your cross-ridden Illuminal and triggers that might fall on the other sides. It takes a lot of hand to survive the turn that you do this. Okay? Now, there are ways to get around it. I don't usually discuss too many strategies on how to beat me on deck profiles, but if you guys ask me really nicely, maybe I'll do a video about it later. This is Diesel from Imagine Your Goddess. I'll talk to you soon. Peace, bitch.